What's up, everybody? Tim from Tierfon here. Just wanted to do a quick rundown walkthrough video on a commission for Kyle Katarn Warsabers hilt. So I'm just going to talk about what went into the build. This is also going to serve as a walkthrough for the client as well. But thought it might help out other people if they want to, if they're interested in doing a Katarn or if they just like, looking at lightsabers that are cool. So, yeah, we'll go over it real quick. Yeah, so this is a Warsabers Kyle Katarn, and it is dangerous, okay? Yeah, I cut myself unscrewing this thing. And I think the client mentioned that he cut his palm unscrewing it as well. So I'll talk about that in a little bit, but this has got some very sharp edges on it, right? This is a Profi V2 build, custom chassis. Didn't use the chassis that came with it from Warsabers. I designed one. Client wanted a custom chassis, so I went ahead and did that. There's just some also minor bells and whistles that have been put into the build, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. So, man, this thing's long. It doesn't even fit in frame. So we'll start at the bottom and make our way to the top, like I usually do with my builds. So yeah, we'll just get started then. So this is a 28mm speaker pod that I upgraded. Inside of your pommel section is a kill switch, a micro USB breakout board, and your speaker pogo pins. Now, for the micro USB, and I'll talk about that when we get further up the hilt, but you'll be able to do any of your config or font transfer, anything like that, you'll be able to do through here. That goes, those wires for that run up the chassis, a channel in the chassis up to the Profi board. Anyway, yeah, so you'll be able to just take your speaker pod off and access the board that way. So yeah, so let's talk about the chassis. Yeah, I mean, I gotta be really careful with this thing, right? I'll show you how sharp these edges are. Yeah, like right here. I mean, wow. I mean, these are. I'm shocked at these. They released these with such sharp edges. Like I mean, they're really dangerous. Seriously, folks. Like they're bad. I would file them down, but I don't want to ruin the client's hilt. So just know that they've got some sharp edges on them. Yeah. So. Smoky black resin chassis. Here's that micro USB board that I was talking about. I put that in some of my previous builds. Wires for that run up here as well as your power. Your Profi is sitting right here. Okay. If you want to, if you ever have the need to get at your Profi board, what you're going to have to do is this chassis is held in place with a brass set screw here. Okay. But I also put a little bit of E6000 around this just to help with some shock absorption and just keep it firm and secured in place. So if you need to get at your board, you're going to need to unscrew that. You're also going to need to unscrew this brass set screw. Now underneath these two switches, I also designed a custom resin switch holder, but that's not attached to this chassis. They're two separate parts, but they are wired pretty closely together. So I suggest if you ever do need to get at your board, unscrew this, gingerly kind of twist it out and slide it out. Now, like I said, it's got E6000 here, but E6000 is pretty forgiving. So don't just yank it out. Just kind of play with it a little bit, twist it, and it'll come out. So, yeah, that's really it. It's just it was a super straightforward build for once for me, right? Yeah, it's pretty easy. I've got a shock PCB emitter in here. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a nice gold PCB holder. Oops, I activated it. So yeah, let's put a blade in it. Speaker pommel, really handy, right? So it's already been spaced exactly how I want it, how it needs to be. So you just tighten it, and it'll make its connection. There is a pretty hefty set screw in here. So, you know, like with all blades, don't over tighten it. You just kind of want it to hug the blade in place. So yeah. Um, that speaker sounds great. Um, you can change the volume of that if you want. Let's see what else I have on here.
I'm never touching that thing again.
Twist to activate, all that stuff's already enabled. Twist to activate and twist to deactivate. So that's it. That's a nice, quick, simple rundown video on Warsabers Kyle Katarn. I will get this back into a shipping container. Shipping container? What? Like I'm shipping massive amounts of hilts. I'll put this back. I'll put this in a box and get this sent back to you, the customer. If you're not the customer and you're just interested in Kyle Katarn build, or you're doing one and you want any pointers, please, I always say feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to answer any kind of questions or give any kind of help. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Listen, if you're thinking about getting this, be careful when you open it. Be careful when you unscrew it, because you could really cut yourself badly if you're not paying attention. I'm kidding. It's really not that bad, but just be aware. Anyway, listen, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and may the force be with you always.